Well, hello world. Most of you know me. My name is Joey, also known as West LA, depending on what circles you frequent. And today we're getting into the maiden voyage of a journey or on a journey called Explain Yourself. The idea of explain yourself um, came to me years ago, honestly, from watching music reactors. And I just wanted to make sure, in addition to giving the people the music, I give people the inspiration and the meaning behind the lyrics myself. Uh, that way you get it straight from my heart by way of my words. Uh, Taking notes, actually, so that we're not rambling. And I'm excited. Let's get to it. Today's song is Golden Hour. Uh, my first single that ever streamed, personal single that ever streamed without a feature. And it's dedicated to the memory of my great friend and brother Brock Jones. Um, it was produced by a guy named Produced by Stone, who's actually overseas in the EU, Europe. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for that great um, instrumental. I pray that it prospers us both, but you more. Um, the concept is it's a spin-off of an unreleased song that I have called Casino Nights. And I don't own the Casino Nights beat, so when I got a beat that I owned, I almost did Casino Nights over again on this beat, but it didn't hit the same. So I at around the time that I was, struggling, figuring out that Casino Night situation, my brother died. A good brother died. And I decided to keep the "it's gonna be alright" part. So the Casino Nights, and this will release, but I won't make any money off of it because I don't own the beat. But it goes, this one here feels like casino nights, like brand new J's after your granny hit on bingo night. You ain't got everything you want, but it's gonna be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but it's gonna be alright. So I kept the "we ain't got everything we want, it's gonna be alright" part because that's the only thing I can tell myself. Um, about that situation. About a life period, I felt like people needed a song that they can play in the vein of the Kendrick Lamar "Alright." We gonna be alright, but mine's a little smoother. Not that it's better or worse, but mine's a little more mellow. Something you can get off work to, something you can ride to, something you can go to work to, something that can calm you down. So even though we don't have everything or everyone that we want, God has kept and will keep us in a place where we are all right. Life always has something new or old to fret about. That was the cliff note of the inspiration of the song. That's what I write before I write the song. As far as the setting and the plot goes, the shots of me that are active, current, are black and white. Colorless, as if muted by morning. The shots with enhanced colors or full color shots are all memories. Or they're the environment. See, it's black and white, and you'll see this as we rap. It's black and white from my point of view, where I'm sitting. Because in mourning, when you're mourning, you could be in the most beautiful place, sitting on the top floor of a beautiful loft property like I was, looking at the beach from my balcony, and still down bad because I miss my bro. And I honestly before he passed, I didn't do the best job of being a little brother. I was competitive, not directly competitive with him, but he gave me so much advice that I had stopped speaking to him um, purposely so I could come back around and surprise him with my progress. It wasn't any malice, but I shouldn't have did that. I was just trying to be competitive and show up like, look, bro, look what I did. And now, yeah, now that's irrelevant. So the light color shots, or the black and white shots rather, are just my point of view. It's black and white because I feel black and white. But the shots of memories are in color because that's what we have left, that's what we live through. Color equals life. And the shots of my environment, the environment around me that I'm not, when I'm not in the shot, is in color because we can be in black and white morning, but the world around us is still in color. And it's golden and it's beautiful. So I didn't want to make the whole thing black and white because I did want to remember my opportunity to mourn my brother in a beautiful place. So shoot, that's all my pregame cliff notes. Let's get into the lyrics. All right. So first thing you can see, I have braids in this video. Obviously, I don't have them anymore. There's a nice Instagram video on my Instagram page at TeamJesus Jeauxy that explains that, the reasoning behind that. But you'll notice I have braids. Shout out to Camila Casey in Long Beach for allowing me to use her establishment to shoot this. I shot this myself. We gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want. So these shots where you see like those shots where you see like family gathering, that's a song my brother did named Here We Go. I believe that's where the video's from. So I wanted to make sure that I got shots of him being him, the him that we knew and loved, so that the world can see it. You know, it's not a bunch of him performing on the stage and all that. There is quite a bit of that. But to begin, I wanted to show him with his family, with his people that he loves, being himself. And you can watch all these music videos. His name is Brock Jones. He goes by Saint, A-S-A-I-N-T, Accepted Salvation, and I Now Testify is what that stands for. It's my bro. His stuff is streaming everywhere still. Support him. Everything goes to his family, as far as I know. So please support. But I wanted to get him in This was a tour, the tour that I addressed later on in this verse. He took me on my first tour, and I was a bass player, not a rapper, so it was great to be able to sit behind and not be in the spotlight, but to be able to be in and around, used and affected by music. And I was freshly divorced, so my mind was in a million different unproductive places, and this tour saved my life. Golden time of day, you catch me jamming Mason Beverly. I float into your arms because your presence is so heavenly. Floating. All right. Golden time of day, you catch me jamming Mason Beverly. I float into your arms because your presence is so heavenly. For that, golden time of day, I was just talking about a sunset or sunrise time of day, but I mentioned Amazing Beverly because Golden Time of Day is my favorite song of theirs. Happy Feelings is my favorite song of theirs. Golden Time of Day is right there, though. So that's like a shout out, black culture. Shout out, we all know those songs because, you know, our people played those songs often. Floating down the highway or floating to your arms because your presence is so heavenly. Um, that was just, you know, need peace. Sometimes when you're mourning, it just feels like you're floating through. And, you know, sometimes you need a hug. That's what that was.
Down the highways, always vibey when I'm with my niece. Lost my brother recently, so kids feel like forever seeds.
All right, so floating down the highways, always vibey when I'm with my niece. That was just a shout out to my nieces, his daughters. A couple times we've rode to shows together with him or with his wife and their brother, you know, in the same family kind of group. And it was such a vibe, but I also contrasted it with uh, I lost my brother recently. So the vibe that's left over, he's gone, but his kids are here. So his kids feel like seeds towards forever. You get what I'm saying? Like he's not here, but his seed is here. And if his seed makes seed, he's still here. The same way our, you know, ancestors, for lack of a better, the same way our ancestors lived through us. Not in no weird witchcrafty way, but, you know, our people lived through us. Our family, our lineages evolve as people pass on. So that's what that's about.
Some blatant legacy, evaluating what I need. Didn't keep it silent with my ex, therefore I let her leave. At least that's what I say within myself when I feel memory.
All right, so we'll do two things here. Contemplating legacy, evaluating what I need. Didn't keep it silent with my ex, therefore I let her leave. At least that's what I say within myself when I feel memories. The weight inside my heart only departs when instrumentals bleed. Contemplating legacy. My guy is gone, but his children are here. And he was young. He wasn't 40 yet. And it wasn't no violent crime or nothing to my knowledge. It was just his time. So that, at that point, it reminds me of an old Bernie Mac joke where he talks about how when people your age die, you kind of perk up. And it makes you a little more sobered in regards to how fragile life is. So contemplating legacy and evaluating what I need. Do I want kids? Do I need kids? Do I need that kind of legacy? Do I want it? I think so. I don't know though. I think so. Didn't keep it silent with my ex, therefore I let her leave. I'm divorced, obviously. So that was a crap show. And, you know, in my head, it's like, go ahead and be free of me. As if I was doing her a favor or something. I don't know, man. I need a counselor. But contemplating legacy, evaluating what I need. Didn't keep it solid with my ex, therefore I let her leave. At least that's what I say within myself when I feel memories. Like, the memory of it is too hard to explore it. So it's like, so many problems, just go. So I let her leave. At least that's what I say within myself when I feel memories. The weight inside my heart only departs when instrumentals bleed. Music was the only thing that kept me going. Music was the only thing that kept me going, and the prayers of my family and music kept me alive. And he was a great part of that music that kept me alive. Speaking of which, you see pictures of our various tour stops. Bottom right, House of Blues. Um, Bottom left, a rock concert, one of my favorite pictures of us. Um, Top pictures are the Houston stop of the City Lights tour and the background concert. That's us at Clyde Warren Park in Dallas, Texas. One of my favorite shows. It was a nice summer afternoon. Pretty cool.
Breeze, the weight inside my heart only departs when instrumentals bleed. So here we are, sliding down 20. My baby holding tears behind her daddy, she got plenty.
So here we are sliding down 20. It's just a Highway 20. The weight inside my heart only departs when instrumentals bleed. So here we are riding down the highway, listening to music, trying to get rid of this pain. And my baby got holding tears behind her daddy, she got plenty. This was a line. His second daughter, or first daughter, his second daughter, because they lost one. So one of his daughters, okay, I don't want to get the order wrong. One of his daughters, at the funeral, I was finally able to see her, and she was cool, and she saw me, and then she just broke down. And I won't say it was because of me or anything, but it's something that I can't unsee or unfeel. So here we are riding down 20. My baby holding tears behind her daddy, she got plenty. I know I can't replace him, but to see his children winning, righteously insane of things I have, I would give any. So I can't replace your dad. I don't want to replace your dad. I want to see you win. I want to see you win in a way where you're sane and in a way where your salvation and your righteousness is intact. And in order to do that, I would give anything. I don't have much, and my life has been crazy hard in 2025. But I would give whatever I could or whatever I have access to give to see that goal accomplished.
No, I can't replace him, but to see his children winning. Righteously insane of things I have, I would give any. Grinning at the sunset, cause I think about him grinning. Somewhere out on tour, I took that gig to keep from sinning. It came.
So, grinning at the sunset, thinking about him reminiscing, thinking about him grinning. He had a great smile. Somewhere out on tour. So grinning at the sunset, thinking about him grinning somewhere out on tour, just grinning through all the madness of tour life and being in charge and making sure people are taken care of, and then having enough left over to be a vessel to be used by God to help people enjoy their time and change their lives. I'm grinning at the end of a day, thinking about him grinning in the middle of turmoil, business turmoil, and the kingdom he was building with his family. So when I grin at the sunset, that's what I'm thinking about often. Somewhere out on tour, I took that gig to keep from sinning. It was either go out on tour or, there's plenty of trouble I could have gotten into that those tour dates and the practices and the rehearsals saved me from. Especially in that pivotal time after divorce where, everybody and their mama's throwing something your way. So I took that tour to keep from sinning. And we got, some more, things up here. We've got the Christian Lounge. On top right, we have a coffee house. I know it's in Fort Worth. I can't remember the name. Bottom right. Top left, I want to say, I don't remember. Oh, no, top left is the Christian Lounge as well. So, and then the bottom left, that's when we opened up for Tony, and Michelle A. in Waco. Great time. Great time. And still behind it is Clyde Warren Park.
Home with a family full of brothers like we 20. These golden hour thoughts are just reminders that he's living.
So these golden hour thoughts are just reminders that it's living. Well, let's backtrack. Grinning at the sunset, because I think about him grinning somewhere out on tour. I took that gig to keep from sinning. And came home with a family full of brothers like we 20. The brothers that I made on that tour are brothers for life. Like I was born with them. These golden hour thoughts are just reminders that he's living. He may not be alive physically on earth, but these thoughts and the memories I have of the man he was, I know he's going to live again in heaven. So it's encouraging.
We gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. Cause we alright, yeah. Sonically I'm silk, but I'm smoking out the window. I really need to quit and just smoke these instrumentals. It's not.
Alright, sonically I'm silk, but I'm smoking out the window. I really need to quit and just smoke these instrumentals. Sonically I'm silk. It's a Silk Sonic kind of bar, but I'm smoking out the window. Silk Sonic song, smoking out the window. It's a metaphor for my back and forth dependence on weed. Like, we can debate whether weed's a sin or if it's good or it's not or whatever and all that, but I know being dependent on anything other than God in critical situations is fool's gold and the most moot of points. So it's not about addiction, it's all about dependence, and we're here to keep it independent. So we do that simple. So it's not about being addicted. It's not about the addiction debate. We could debate addiction and varying levels of addiction and all that, but it's about being dependent on anything other than God for your peace. And that's not smart. But because we want to be independent, we'll keep it simple. And we'll get to there.
About addiction, it's all about dependence, and I'm here to keep it handy, so we do that simple. Bosses of ourselves who willingly submit to Christ.
That's how you keep it simple. I'm the boss of me, but I submit to Christ. So Jesus allows me to be in charge of whatever I'm in charge of, but at a moment's notice, I have to give it to him. And also, on a daily basis, I have to live for him. Bosses of ourselves who willingly submit to Christ, laughing at ourselves because we was really about that life, and people never notice the glow up really glowing. Riding with a queen who keep a ring and keep it holy. We both come from that life, and people who are from that life, they understand what that life means. A street life, life of crime, whether petty or major. And now I would be, we would both trip out at how people don't notice where we come from because of what we look like and because of what we do. So, riding with a queen who keeps a ring and keeps it holy, this next few bars is really me just rapping his life to explain the kind of man he was. All the way into the end of this verse, it explains the kind of man he was, riding with a queen who keeps a ring and keeps it holy. It explains the kind of man he was in regards to widows, children, lowly people, anybody, his heart. I explained in those last few bars of this verse. And I wanted people to know that I was telling his life. and not necessarily mine. Not that I'm not, doing what I have to do the right way, but I'm obviously not married, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's his life.
Laughing to ourselves cause we was really about that life. And people never notice the glow up really glowing. Sliding with a queen who keep a ring and keep it holy. Hustling with confidence cause faith is really flowing. Grind to save up opulence to spread and spend it slowly.
Hustling with confidence because faith is really flowing. I saw this dude hustle because he knew God had his back. He did crazy stuff that wouldn't have worked. He knew God had his back because he was tapped in with the Lord. That's the key.
Take care of the widows and the children and the lowly. Teach them about the Father, pray the seed to keep on growing. Meet him on the mountainside to chill and get to know him. But keep your the widows and the children and the.
So we got our last little dump of things. Let's see. Bottom right. I want to say, I'm not gonna say, yeah, bottom right, I want to say it's in Tyler, Texas. And what's crazy about that one is it was actually a concert that benefited the mom, a mother who passed away. So when I get out there, it turns out the mother who passed away is the mom of some of my closest friends from my time in Tyler, Texas, Jeauxy family. So it was just crazy how God worked that out to where I could play at their mom's benefit concert. Bottom middle, the historic Fitzgerald's in Houston before it closed down. I got to play bass for my guy then. Bottom left, one of my favorite pictures of all time. I believe this is his 10th anniversary concert to celebrate 10 years of him being an artist. Top right, I'll be honest with you, don't remember. I don't know where that is. But it looks like, yeah, I want to say it was this festival we did because I remember a selfie, not a selfie, but a solo picture I had with that same outfit on. So I think that was it. Top middle is one of the City Lights tour stops. I believe it was the kickoff night at Crossroads Arlington Church. I know it's not called that anymore, but that's where it was. And then top left, us taking a picture with Tony. The day we opened up for them. Pretty cool. So, Selah is a term, Bible term. That means ponder that, sit on that, think on that. So, meet him at the mountainside to chill and get to know him. At this point, I'm not speaking about my brother. I'm speaking about God. Chill and get to know God. So, meet him at the mountainside to chill and get to know him. But keep your eyes on him because the top is really lonely. The idea is that you want to get used to going to the mountainside to meet God like a Moses or Abraham or Jesus or Paul or anybody. But the closer you get to the top, the less people that can come with you because there's less space. So you have to keep looking at God because God's the only person that's going to be ahead of you up there. Everybody else eventually is going to fall off because there's only going to be enough walking space or climbing space for you on the mountainside, on the mountaintop. And you want to keep your eyes on God because the top is lonely. If you get to the top and look around, you'll realize you're alone. But if you get at the top and you're looking at God, you won't even realize you're lonely at the top. And if you do, he'll be worth it more anyway. Selah.
Everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright. We ain't got everything we want,
video kind of stops with me, pondering and looking around, and then it just cuts. I like that. It felt cinematic to me to get the thought across that, like, hey, we're gonna be all right, but it is what it is. But furthermore, make sure you follow my guy. His information's finna pop up, and there's a clip at the end from the first night I met him when I was doing music with Bronson Two Skies at the Radical Move Rally, a Christian rap concert, a recurring Christian rap concert in Dallas, Texas back in 2012. So we'll let it play out, but I miss my bro, and I miss him. But we're gonna be alright. This has been Explain Yourself. I'm Joey, also known as West or LA, depending on what circles you frequent. This is Explain Yourself. It's a little rough this first episode, but we're gonna get better from here. Next episode, we're talking about my song from the Fresh Flowers collective collaboration called Dead End. All right.
We ain't got everything we want, but we gon' be alright.